One of the most important things for any English learner is confidence, but where do we get it? Well, first of all, we have to get it wherever we can. But ultimately, it comes from us feeling like we are doing very, very well. And of course, it's internal, but some of this validation could come from external outside sources when people give you compliments or tell you how impressive your English is and stuff like that. So it's a combination of how you feel and what other people essentially tell you. So today I'm going to give you 5 very important life hacks that you can start using right now without learning anything new. Just 5 very simple changes you can make literally right now and sound very impressive and very native. If you're ready, let's begin. Number 1, dropping the first sound in pronouns. So when we're dealing with pronouns like him, her, or them after a verb, native speakers commonly drop the first sound, with, of course, an exception. There is always an exception in English. We can only do that if those pronouns are weak words. For example, if I say tell him, and what I mean is don't tell me, tell him. Him becomes a very important word for me to deliver my message. The emphasis here is very strong, tell him. And in English, the general rule is when something is emphasized for clear meaning, we don't do any fancy sound reductions or anything like that. But if him is not the most important word here, we can easily just remove the first sound, and that's actually what native speakers do literally all the time. So, tell him becomes tell him. Repeat after me, tell him. Give her becomes give her. Repeat after me, give her. Wonderful. And call them becomes call him. Repeat after me, call him. Great. Now let's practice in full sentences. So please read them and repeat after me right now. Did you see him? Did you see him? Why don't you ask her? Why don't you ask her? You can see how I'm not saying ask her. Why don't you ask her? Ask her. Why don't you ask her? Did you see him? Not did you see him, but did you see him? Skipping that first sound of this weak pronoun is something that, like I said, native speakers do all the time. And once you start paying attention, you will notice it literally everywhere. So start using it now as well. And it'll make a big difference. It's a small adjustment, but it makes all the difference in the world. Number 2, adding direction. And this one is so easy, and a lot of English learners ignore it and don't do it, but English speakers, native English speakers, they love adding specific information about a location or a place or a direction. In many languages, people just often say here or there. But native speakers very, very frequently add direction because they're almost visually pointing to where something is with their words. So when you want to say there, you can easily just say over there. Oh, it's over there. It doesn't change the meaning at all. Yet it's so natural and so native to say that. Or, for example, I'm on the first floor and you're on the second floor. And you're asking me, did you find it? Where is it? Or you're asking me where I am maybe. And I, instead of saying here, because I'm on the first floor and you're on the second floor, most likely I will say down here. I'm down here. Or it's down here. I found it. It's down here. Because from you, it's in that direction where I am. So that's why down and here come together for me, from my perspective, trying to speak from your perspective. I know it's complicated to think about it that way, but it's literally just, yeah, it's down here. Or the opposite, you can say up there, if there is a very specific level difference, first floor, second floor, or something like that. Let's say I am about to go inside of a place or a building and I want to tell you to wait for me right here outside. So I'm going to say, I'm going in, just wait out here. Wait out here. Where we are right now, outside, wait out here. That's how most people will say that. Not just wait here, wait out here. Wait out here, I'll be back, wait out here. Or, I think I'm gonna go over there now. I think I'm gonna go over there. Over there. Again, it doesn't change the meaning, but it adds a lot of very cool confidence to what you're saying. Oh, where is the bathroom? The bathroom is up there. Just go to the second floor, it's up there. It's a very small detail, but it makes your English sound so much more natural. And it's incredibly powerful and very underestimated. So try to incorporate those directional words, up, down, over, stuff like that, under, wherever it makes sense for you. And soon you'll get so confident and so natural with this and you won't even notice, but other people will, and it'll be amazing. Number 3, questions that don't really look like questions. And in school or any traditional English class or traditional grammar, we are taught like this. Do you like it? Or are you serious? Or did he say that? Because as you know, grammatically speaking, for questions, we change the order of the words, subject and verb, and we do this inversion type of thing. Now, that is absolutely grammatically correct, and obviously we don't have to question it. But in spoken English, oftentimes native speakers ask questions without changing the word order, and they sort of ask it like a regular affirmative sentence, but they just turn it into a question with their voice. So instead of saying, do you like it? A lot of people will just say, you like it? You like it? Are you serious? You're serious? You're serious? That's completely normal and natural to say it that way. Or, did he say that? He said that? He said that? That is so common. The reason this works is very simple. Your intonation tells us everything. It tells us that it's a question. So when somebody says, you're serious? Nobody's confused because it sounds like a question without looking like a question necessarily. And once you start paying attention to movies or TV shows, you will hear this everywhere and you won't be able to unhear it anymore. A quick side note, if you're watching this and you're thinking, well, my English is pretty good, but I still don't sound natural and I feel a little self-conscious about it, I have 2 programs that can really help you and make a big difference in your English. If you're still building your foundation and your confidence, check out From Elementary to Intermediate. And if you already have the basics, but you want to sound fluent and be quicker and sound more natural and confident, check out From Intermediate to Advanced, which is our most popular program. I'll leave both links in the description box down below. Check it out, see if it's right for you, see if the time is right, and I hope to see you there. Once again, it's down below, and let's keep going with the video. Number 4, not being too direct. Many English learners will say stuff like, give me a coffee, or I don't know, I need a table, or can you help me? Which is fine, grammatically all of these are fine, but in English, and hear me out please, this is very important. In English, direct requests, they can sometimes sound more like commands, which makes it just a bit rude, especially depending on the situation, your facial expression, and just the vibe overall of how you say it, your tone of voice could be extremely rude, and we don't want that. So instead of just directly saying, give me a coffee, a lot of native speakers will sort of go around, not around, but build another layer before the request itself. Could I get a coffee? The question itself, the request becomes a bit distant because instead of saying give me a coffee directed at you, I'm saying could I get a coffee? A little bit of word magic really goes a long way here. Or you're coming into a furniture store, they're asking you, how can I help you? And you say, I need a table. Well, instead of saying I need a table, you just say, I'm looking for a table. I'm looking for a table. We're just swapping the verb itself and the tense, of course, but the most important thing here is the word, the verb choice. I'm looking for a table. It's a little more polite and considerate, and that's what we do. And can you help me is fine, but again, it's a little too direct, kind of uncomfortably direct. So instead, most people commonly would say something like, I was wondering if you could help me. I was wondering if you could help me, and the meaning does not change at all, right? The tone changes, which is very important. And that's one of the easiest ways to sound friendly and respectful and natural because native speakers do not speak directly, for the most part. There is, of course, time and place for everything, and when it's needed, when being direct is needed and it's beneficial, people do that as well. But generally, the golden rule is the bigger the request, the more polite distance native speakers usually add. I was wondering if you could help me instead of can you help me? And number 5, not always using yes or no. Imagine this conversation. I'm asking you, did you call him? Did you call him? And most learners answer yes. Or if you are a very good learner and you paid a lot of attention in your class, you will say, yes, I did. Well, here's the thing. A lot of native speakers will actually say, I did. Did you call him? I did. Not yes I did, but just I did. And commonly we think, well, yes, I did is a proper response to a question like this. So if I want to make it a little more conversational and cool, I will just remove the I did part, the grammar part of it, and I just keep yes, which makes sense. But commonly native speakers, instead of saying yes, they choose the other part and say, I did. Did you call him? I did. Is he busy? Yes. He is. Is he busy? He is. Are you tired? I am. Is he coming? He is. It sounds more natural because the answer essentially mirrors the question itself, which we love doing. But of course, real life is not always black and white. Sometimes you don't have a very specific answer. He did, or I did, or I am, yes or no type of thing. Sometimes it's in between, vague. So some of those popular vague in-between answers would be kind of, which means partially yes. Or you can say, not really, which means mostly no, like 90% no or something. Or I guess, which means probably. Or pretty much, more or less yes. And these answers sound much more natural in a regular English conversation outside of a textbook. How about I give you a bonus point? This one is so easy, but so amazing. Number 6 bonus would be using though at the end for contrast. As we begin learning English and we keep going, we know that there is an amazing conjunction that we use for contrast, which is but. It was expensive, but it was good. Perfectly correct, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I'm not telling you to stop saying but, it's great. Say it. However, there is a very common and honestly very natural way native speakers introduce contrast at the end of the thought, not in the middle. And we do it by using the word though. It was expensive. It was good though. It was expensive. I liked it though. It was expensive. Not bad though. When though comes at the end like this, or when contrast comes at the end like this, it feels like an afterthought. You say the main idea first and then add a small element of contrast. It's a tiny detail, but details like this make your English sound very, very natural because we don't plan our responses. We don't plan what we say in advance. It's not an essay, it's a real conversation. So sometimes I introduce contrast without planning to do so. And that's why though at the end is very powerful. So definitely start using this one. This one is so valuable. And this one alone can make you sound a lot more natural. Just like that. And here's what's interesting. None of these tips require you to learn new grammar or learn tons of new vocabulary. You don't need another textbook. You simply need to start noticing these things and start using them on your own too. Because the gap between correct English and natural English is a lot smaller than most people think. And if you need help getting there much faster, check out my programs. You know how you learn English. Sometimes you learn, sometimes you don't. It's not easy to stay disciplined and keep at it consistently. But consistency is the most important thing. And ironically, it is the most important thing and the hardest one too. And we've just removed the friction. You don't have to figure it out. We're giving you a full system that you can just relax and follow. It has everything you need conveniently all in one place. All the calendars, reminders, accountability, of course, lessons themselves, tasks, all the practice opportunities to provide real results. So you'll find both in the description box down below. I hope to see you there. And if you found this video helpful, make sure you like this video, give it a quick thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments which point was the most surprising to you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep learning, keep growing, and never look back. Peace.